My name is Landon Kulzer. I'm a freshman, and my favorite Disney princess is easily Elsa.
Of course, you like the blonde ones.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
No, I gotta figure out this Disney princess stuff.
Looking at my type, it isn't surprising.
I'm 23 and I've been drinking too much.
Wait,
Max Crookshank, I'm a senior, and Jar Jar Binks is my favorite Disney princess.
Favorite Disney? Okay. My name is Bradley Graham. I am a senior, and my favorite Disney princess is probably Rapunzel.
Connor, what is your name? What year are you in school? And what is your favorite Marvel princess?
I'm Connor. I'm a senior, and
This started, by the way.
You're missing it. It's on LBC, it's Purdue Gold.
I don't actually know.
Who's your favorite DC villain? Can't do the Joker, that's a cop out.
I also don't know.
God damn it. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Probably Mulan.
See, get that one. Not the other two.
Princess.
So my name's Daniel. I'm a freshman, and my favorite Disney princess is Mulan.
So my name is Garrett Welsh. I am a senior environmental studies major. And my favorite Disney princess would have to be, I don't remember her name, but that princess from Brave, the redhead. Merida.
Next question. What's your favorite part about Merida?
Oh my god.
Is it her freckles, her hair?
Oh, it's her red hair.
Oh.
Nice and fiery. Just
Okay,
like
thank
her
you.
passion.
You're trying to get front or back.
Yeah,
Here. Everyone else answered this damn question. You're answering it.
All right, can you say that again?
What is your name, year, and your favorite Disney princess?
My name is Roger Stelgis. I'm a junior, and my favorite Disney princess is Mulan.
What do you like about her the most? I asked Garrett this too.
She has the best songs.
Best songs?
Yes.
Okay, front or back?
That is definitely going into the first.
Can you please give your name, year, and your favorite DC villain? Because Connor could not figure one out.
You said Joker's a cop out, right?
I mean, okay, if you can give 3 characteristics about the Joker that makes you your favorite villain, I will definitely allow it.
I'll just say because he's the darkest, but
And what's one? 2 more.
Heath Ledger.
Okay.
And he murdered someone with a pencil. That's respectful. And then my name's Peyton Moz, senior. What did you originally think of the team?
I thought it was going to be fun, but frankly, I thought it was going to be a disastrous season, and that of all the people on the team, you were the worst in terms of gun skill, and you could not hit the broadside of a barn, Peyton, because frankly, you could not.
Playing on a laptop, I feel judged.
Yeah, I did too. I played CS:GO on a laptop.
Shush it.
How did you first get involved in Rainbow Six Siege on campus? Was there a team before, or how did you first find out about it?
I first found out about it when Peyton, the captain, wanted to establish the Siege team, and we were hosting a summer tournament between a bunch of different collegiate programs.
We need to play the U of M.
We did end up playing the U of M for our first match.
Oh, for that?
No. We brought Alex in and didn't do much.
The team? We were bad, really bad. No, I just got on the team this year. It's the only time that SJU's had an official team, but other people have been playing together. Thought it was going to be a lot more professional than it was, but it was a shit show from start to end, and I love being a part of it. What did you originally think about the team?
I was very worried about the team first going into it because a lot of players either had very minimal amount of practice or almost not at all. So I was very worried about that going into it at first before we got a bunch of other players later on that was really beneficial to the team. So what did you originally think about the team?
So when Peyton first originally came to me with the idea of starting the team, it was gonna be me, him, and some questionable characters that I wasn't so sure about right away, because one of them I met for like 10 minutes, and the other ones, I don't think they're ready for the kind of the competitive setting of Siege.
What did you originally think about the team?
I didn't know about it, that it existed until like it was basically middle of first semester, yeah.
So I knew most of the team already before we started playing, so I already had a good relationship with most of them. The newer players like Danny, Salem, and Landon, didn't know them at all going into this, so, you know, a little hesitant on learning them.
So the team was a work in progress when we were first making the team way back in like end of fall end of last year. The starting lineup was supposed to be myself, Bradley, Roger, Connor, and Garrett and Mason as the sub.
Week 1, when you were facing Ottawa, do you remember what you were feeling going into that game?
Don't do bad. Don't choke. that first game, that's what it was, because you guys were hyping me up and like I was talking so much, like hyping myself up. So it was like, oh boy. I gotta back it up.
Week 1, you're watching everyone else play against Ottawa. What feelings did you have then?
Honestly, for the first match, I was kind of excited to see how everyone would be doing.
Yeah, what's up, Brad? Yeah, Peyton's part. I'm in the middle of mine right now.
He's not lying. So week 1, when you're facing Ottawa, do you remember what you were feeling going into that game?
I wasn't there.
That's right.
So I was feeling pretty relaxed. The blooper reel.
Just all backs.
Week 4, you were facing Oswego, who is also undefeated, and you slammed them 14-0. Did that change your perspective on the team?
Don't think I was there either.
No, you were there.
Oh, was I? Oh, I don't know. What game was that?
Yeah, so we got a preview when we were like kind of looking up some film on Ottawa beforehand, because you could do that. We saw that they had this big open arena, and my mind went, "Oh, we got nice stuff. It'd be a shame if we broke it." And I know this question might come up later, but we broke it. We broke it enough to disband the team for a bit.
My thoughts going into it were that, to be frank, I really was excited. I had a lot of expectations. I thought after playing over the summer and then the practices leading up to it, I thought we were pretty strong. I thought we were going to have a lot of mistakes, and I didn't think we were going to win, but I thought we were going to have a really strong first game. And we ended up winning that game, and we all ended up playing really well.
Week 1, you're getting ready to face Ottawa. What was your feelings personally and also for the team going into the first game?
None of the rest of the team remembers this, but Ottawa and Southern Miss were the two teams in placements that went undefeated and were slaughtering everybody. So going into it, I was a lot more nervous because I knew that going in. I don't think the rest of the team was aware. Map 1, I remember we lost. It was close, but it wasn't great. Our Max couldn't be there and Landon couldn't be there. So we were playing with 2 subs. And I remember we lost, and we subbed Landon in for map 2, and the casters were like, St. John's were making a great adjustment here. I was like, yes, I subbed my best or my worst player out and subbed in my best. Great adjustment. I wonder who else could have made that adjustment. And then map 3, Max came and we rolled them, and that was exciting. As for the first game of the season.
Week 4, you're facing Oswego, who is also undefeated, and you slammed them 14-0. Did that change your perspective on the team at all? And so,
Not on the team, just on Peyton.
What?
Well, Peyton goes, guys, this is going to be a very tough team. We have to make sure that we're fully prepared. We got to be fully ready. We got to be fully committed. When it was 6-0, we're laughing. We're like, hey, Peyton, this team is so difficult. And we were just slamming.
Oh no, I do remember that series actually. Yeah, it was just eye-opening to how well we could play if we all, put in the time in and played together, and if we all had a good day or a good series, what the team could do. And so it was exciting leaving that game knowing that we could be a really good team.
No. The only perspective it changed was that Landon couldn't hit shit with the primary, so we switched to secondary. And it just proved to me that we have a very high skilled player on our team with multiple of us that are fairly high skilled. And I mean, we just came together and we trust each other and we just played our game.
Week 4, you're facing Oswego, who's also undefeated, and you slammed them 14-0.
That was probably one of the most exciting games ever because everything felt so smooth, everything felt so clean. We executed everything perfectly. There was it felt like we weren't making any mistakes. I'm sure we were in retrospect, but because Oswego just wasn't getting any rounds, they weren't getting any kills, it just felt so clean. And it felt really great. It was a huge confidence booster for the entire team.
If I also told you that was your best game of both seasons when you were 11-1 in the second game, does that change your perspective on those games?
I mean, those were really good games. That was one of my favorite games. It was quick. It was really fun. We all had a really great time, and we came into that game with a lot of expectations of it being a really hard match. They'd been undefeated, but we played really well. We hit them really hard, and even if they didn't turn out to be as strong a team as we thought, it was still a really fun game.
Going to week 4 of the first split, you're facing Oswego, who was also undefeated at the time, but then you beat them 14-0. Did that change your perspective on the team and the division as a whole?
So I don't know what players are going to disagree. Based on all the statistics I was looking at, yeah, roll your eyes. All the statistics I saw, they were undefeated. They had handily beaten their 3 opponents. Granted, we now know that they were facing the 3 worst teams in division, but at the time we didn't know that. So they handily beat the 3 teams. Their ranks were higher than ours. Now rank doesn't mean everything, but based on statistics from that type of perspective, they were a much better team. And we were very focused. Everyone was locked in, and we probably played the most complete game of the entire season that day. And we smacked the shit out of them. That was probably, if I had to pick my favorite game, was that game because the team played just so well and everything worked, and that was exciting because that's when we knew, or that's when at least for me I knew, hey, we're pretty good.
Moving to the
Week 5, you faced your first setback of the season, losing to Southern Miss on stream. How did the team recover?
By calling me 2-7.
This is all statement, just the whole statement.
That was definitely the most recoverable thing. 'Cause everyone was calling me 2-7 after that because that was my first bad game.
Your only bad game.
I had one other.
Yeah, we're not that bad.
Okay, below average was the other one.
We only lost because I wasn't there. So we just had to get me, and we knew easy slam, baby.
It hurt. It definitely hurt a little bit, but it kind of showed us that we weren't immortal. But it gave us a lot of hey, this is what we can work on, this is where we can improve, and this is where we can get better. And it just allowed us to reflect on ourselves real quick and to be hey, we're good, but there are people who are at our level too in this conference.
That was probably the low point for our season because we had never really faced a lot of adversity up until that point in the season, and it was at that point we had to really get serious about how we handled setbacks as a team.
Midway through the season, you were in the game against Southern Miss when Lyman had his famous 2-7 game. What was that like going through that?
Oh gosh. It's great to just give him shit every time you see him. Just call him 2-7. He'll never live it down. But yeah, it's great to see when, you know, our substitutes and everyone else is just being out the top fragger. So yeah, it's great.
Moving to the next week, the first setback of the season occurs facing Southern Miss and having your best player go 2-7 in the most infamous map of the St. John's history. What were your feelings during that game, and how did you recover?
Map 1 was stupid. The NECC delayed our start by a half hour, so we had to forfeit map 1 because Max had to leave, and that we were down, I think 5-2 when we had to leave, but we were on defense on Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is insanely defender-sided. Was it 4-3? No, it might have been 4-3. And then Lyman was able to replace Max, luckily, and we took map 2 from them. And then map 3, we got 7-0'd. No one could hit a shot. No one was communicating what they were watching. That was the worst performance of the season. Landon went 2-7, and we still don't let him forget about it. I probably will give him a 2-7 shirt for the rest of his life on his birthday because I find it hilarious. Side note, on his birthday cake, we 100% should do 27 is his golden birthday.
See this.
Oh, I'm aware. 27 is his golden birthday. I want you to know that, Landon.
Ah. You'll be fucking old then.
So during the first semester, you were mainly a reserve and sub. What did it always feel like entering into someone else's role?
Stress. It was often entering into Max's role, which was nice because I could just stick to one up. But sometimes there'd be more than one sub, and like we'd get flexed around a little bit. It was a lot of different roles. That's about it.
You played on and off throughout the season. How was it like coming in as a substitute for some of the players?
So you say for some of the players, but mainly I subbed in for Landon the first semester when he wasn't able to make it. So it was a much different role than if I was to sub in right now. So subbing in for Landon, I primarily played Jaeger and then like Sledge on attack. So I was anchoring a lot of time, unlike what Landon does, but that's just what I do better. I'm not very good at roaming. Learning all the different positions was a lot though.
I feel that the team has grown over the semesters.
I feel like everyone has made a lot of progress. I think Peyton has really moved into the leadership role. He's become a really strong IGL, a really great fragger. I mean, he even challenges Landon sometimes for top frag position during certain games. And I think Landon's moved into a decent leadership role. He's a lot less quiet than he used to be. I think Max did a really great job acclimating to Siege and becoming a really strong player really quickly and becoming really strong at understanding the game and the different mechanics. I think Danny has become able to accept a lot more of his mistakes, and he's become a real team player, and he's been really willing to work around the strategies we've kind of done. He's become a really strong flex player.
Was there any point during the season where you got mad at one of the players, and how was the team chemistry overall?
Oh, I get mad at all the players all the time when I'm watching because they just do dumb stuff that they shouldn't do. So people push in the rooms without droning. People love to just sit and watch other people's perspectives instead of being on cameras. I call people out all the time on that. So yeah, just one thing I do a lot is when they're playing, I'll talk about like things that they can do or should do better. And then I let Payne know later in the future so then he can help with the team.
So going into the playoffs, your first round matchup is against LVC. Do you remember your thoughts going into that match?
This is a private one, right? You fuckers. This is a private interview, right? We're not going to release all of it?
I will only really switch.
What again?
LVC was really bad. We had no worries going into week 1.
I remember the team and us all saying that we had one goal, was to crush them in every way, shape, and form. And we did.
Yeah. Mr. Davis is on LBC, right?
Yes.
I remember going in there going, I'm gonna murder this kid. And I succeeded in that goal multiple times with multiple wall bangs, hunting him down and just making his life a living hell, because that was my job.
This is our production.
Oh, is it really? All right. I mean, so the first time we played LVC, we were having a kind of like a third, like someone else hosted because they had the rule set. We were still like brand new to like the pro, like the not the pro, but like the competitive settings. So we didn't have like all the settings for the matches yet. So we had somebody who did, who was still in the NECC and still a close friend of us in the NECC. So we were like, oh, we asked and they said it was okay. After we stomped them. Not just like, oh, kind of it was, they were an ant, here's the boot. Stomped them, thanks to a performance by Landon and Max. They started complaining. And after a 20-minute delay of game and argument back and forth conversation with the NECC, we did a rehost and we just kind of thought, no mercy. So going into the match in the playoffs against them, it was the same mindset, but worse. It was, we've had the preparation, we've had the time, and we've gotten better, and we lost to somebody right before that, so we were pissed off.
The first playoff game against LVC last semester, we did not have Landon or Max, and Peyton was out with a concussion, or was down with a concussion. And you dropped your highest kill total of the game, dropping 12 kills in top frag. What was that like?
Oh yeah, so I do enjoy fragging out. It's a lot of fun. So it wasn't a lot of frags. I think it was just like 12 kills, but being able to actually like help carry the team is very good. It makes you feel better in the end. Even if like you lose a round or two, you can keep your morales high, keep other people's morales high. When they see that the sub is doing well, then everyone knows like, oh, we can do just as well.
How much we wanted to beat them into the ground and how much we specifically disliked them as a team. It was very much personal for us to go in there and make sure that they not only lost that match, but knew that they deserved to lose that match.
And the best quote from the season came from that too. I want to say some hateful things to this keyboard.
They really don't like us, and that's okay. We'll deal with them later.
That was not the best quote.
They
keep fucking flashing me. I can't see a goddamn thing.
I thought
My favorite quote that came out of that one was,
yeah.
where do they find this guy? Do they just go to a group, like a Find My Friends thing?
Looking for a player.
Yeah.
Player.
You're supposed to fucking looking for group posts for this kid.
Yeah, so it was an interesting mindset going into that game. Probably not the one that we should have had going into it, but we had it.
So semifinals on stream was against Ottawa. What was your mindset going into that match?
Clear mindset. I go into a lot of games with a clear mindset and just focus on getting the first kill because that's always the hardest kill.
I was Ottawa and Kansas. It was exciting to actually play a pretty decent team. They were hyped up, and we played them earlier in the year and had some struggles, but we had the full team together and we practiced a lot, so it was fun to see what we could do against a good team.
That I was gonna murder Brexy. My job is to find people and have other people murder him. As a support player, my job is to drone and be like, hey, point and click. And the very first kill of that game was me droning and finding a player just kind of sitting in an open hallway with a wall that was not reinforced with one of my favorite players running up the stairs, and I went, Max, shoot right here. The opening, the comments, like going back and listening to the commentators are like, oh no, is this really what's gonna happen? And then it happened. And you can just see their entire mindset of that team, because that was their captain, just shift completely into, well, fuck. I can swear, right?
Yeah. You made his kid cry. Talk about it. Well,
Yeah.
I made his kid cry, but talk about it.
We made a kid cry, and it was great. Because he was screaming, yelling, and his wife was like, "You need to keep it down," and we're like, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing." And we didn't hold back. Not against them either.
I remember basically over half of the week prior, the captain was planning a bunch of drills for us that he wanted to do because he was very worried about the team, even sitting in class and saying, "Look at these stats, this is what they have. I'm worried about this, so we're gonna have to practice a lot more, and this is going to be the hardest match we'll have to face." And then we ended up quite literally demolishing them, and it felt kind of rewarding in that sense.
Braxy had the quote that they keep fucking flashing me. How does that rank on your tier list of quotes from the season?
There's a lot of really good quotes from that season. I don't know, it'd probably be fifth because a lot of the LVC quotes were a lot more of the quotes that I like to remember constantly.
You want to list them?
Number one has to be, what did they do? Bring in Bolo? The quote of, I want to say some hateful things through this keyboard. They keep fucking droning me. That one, I love that one because I was the one who was droning him and he was constantly on his stream just complaining about how he was always getting hunted down by our anti-roamers. And it was really fun to watch that happen. My mindset going into that match was after our first game, at the start of the season, I felt like it was going to be a really close game. It ended up not being as close as I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to be one of the stronger teams that we might actually lose that match, but we ended up playing really well. We stayed very consistent, and we soldiered through.
Why I overhyped them? Mainly because, actually I should share this. It was a coaching technique from Bill Belichick, actually, that I read about. It's is during their undefeated season, which ended up failing at the final game. But the way he would ramp the pressure up and make his players, try to make his players believe that this game is going to be very difficult and that they had to bring their A game, because they did. Like, you're still at their level, they're still going up against professionals. Like, it's not like you're just going to be able to roll them because you're just better. They're better at their best, but if you're not at your best, then you're going to lose. I did a couple times throughout the season. I'd like to say we won every time I did it, so.
The finals against Southern Miss. Do you remember what the team atmosphere was like going into the match?
Going into it, it was okay, this is going to be a long one, get ready for it. And then about a quarter way through, it turned into us being 2-0, up 2-0. And I was like, okay, we just got to win one more. Let's go, guys, just one more. Of course, it was in Oregon, one of our worst maps at the time. And we lost. And then we lost Villa. Not going to say why, but we all know the reason. And then it went to Cafe, which was great up until it went to we lost to a 4v5. And then it was rough from there for the next 2-3 rounds, but we managed to bring it back, and we won in the end.
Excited. I think everyone was also a little nervous. Obviously, getting to the finals and playing a team that we assumed was very good. Everyone was a little jittery. God knows how much caffeine Bradley was on. I don't think he could see straight, but everyone was excited. The finals was against Southern Miss. Do you remember the team atmosphere? And more importantly, why didn't you go down and cut their Ethernet cords like you promised to?
So, watching that match, I was very stressed the whole time. And I'm pretty sure the whole team can agree with that, because this was quite literally all or nothing in this case. And we were ready for it, but it certainly was still menacing to see as a team.
We were a little timid going to the first map. I feel like just kind of like, hey, we went head to head with these guys and we lost the last time. It was close, but we still lost. And it just took some adjustments, and we made the adjustments, and we played on a map that we were very comfortable in. And we kind of switched up some roles and positionings and operators, because the way that we play is we control the bans. We always attack first, and we control the bans with that. And with how we did that, it just put us in a situation of where we just could play our game. And as it turned out, some of us were having a really good game that time. Especially with the Vector, with an anime girl on it.
Whatever you're into, buddy.
Thank you, Team Elevate. Or stop looking in holes and question, hey, this person's gonna shoot him first.
Stop saying holes!
What?
We looked through some holes that we probably should do.
What's wrong with the word holes? You weak-minded freshman. No wonder you're still going through puberty. You and your brother.
I don't know what glory holes in him have to do with each other. But
I don't know, he just punches a hole and he just goes.
oh my god.
Confident. You know, we'd beat LBC pretty convincingly. Ottawa, which we expected to be a much harder game, was a really convincing win for us as well. And, you know, Southern Miss, we'd lost to them, but it had been pretty close, and we could have done better if some things hadn't gone really poorly due to scheduling with that game. And I think all of us were fairly certain that we were going to be able to pull that out.
You get up 2-0 in the finals before losing maps 3 and 4. Do you remember your thought process going to the final map?
Going into the final map was, oh boy, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be like me, Max, Peyton hard carrying, but then Roger and Danny showed up, Roger and Bradley showed up the first 2-3 rounds, and then they quieted down, and then we started showing up. And then it turned into the 4v5, which no one liked.
I knew that we were decent at the map, but mostly the thought was, oh fuck, oh shit, we're choking. The team went up 2-0 in the finals before losing maps 3 and 4. Do you remember your thought process going into the final map? As well, did you feel any guilt about not giving all the players a good luck kiss like you normally do?
So going to that, my heart rate had almost tripled at that time because I was sweating watching the stream and very worried about how it was going, especially because they won a lot of 1v1s, and I was worried that our team mentality would drop heavily. But ending up winning off that felt really rewarding overall.
After going back and watching those maps, realizing that those maps were a lot closer than they actually look. It came down to a lot of 1v1s and just very odd positionings on both teams. Positionings that neither of us were ready for, and then just not being able to clutch anything. We were losing our ones, and it just wasn't helping us at all. And then when we got to the final map, we just had this mindset of, we need a win. I think we took a tactical timeout right between the map and all that, or like right away in the map, because we just needed a clear mind of just like, hey, this is it. If we don't come together now and change how we're doing this, we're done. And I know me and Landon, we just kind of took it and we just went, all right, fuck it. Anything that happens, we're just gonna go with it, roll with it. I think we pulled some strats that we probably shouldn't have, made some plays that were a little questionable, looking in holes that we shouldn't have, but that's okay.
In like finals,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. I was watching, and it's like, it's close. It's really close the entire time.
You know, it was a bit stressful. So, as a room, as a team, the people that aren't playing the game tend to sit downstairs watching the game on the TV. So we're just watching the game in suspense, and then all of a sudden, there's still a round left, 2 rounds left. We just hear screaming from upstairs. So we just know that Payton has won the game, and that he just spoiled the ending for us like 2 rounds ahead in the future. So, you know, that's great, but it is what it is.
My thought process was, my gosh, we're about to get reverse swept. I mean, you know, when that happens, it's just so hard to turn around that momentum, and the other team seems to get everything going right for them, and everything seems to just be clicking for them, and nothing seems to be going for you. And even when it seems like you're just about to get back at them and finally just stop their momentum, they just keep getting lucky and keep hitting you where it hurts.
So maps 3 and 4, we smacked them on maps 1 and 2. We had done a bunch of scouting and studied their VOD almost religiously figured out a couple of weaknesses we could exploit and smacked them in the first 2 maps. And then the problem with the second 2 maps was the weakness we figured out was they have one player, they like to play 4 on site, 1 roam. And the easy way to counter that is you just aggressively roam hunt that 1 roamer and get him into 2v1s. And he's not going to win those most of the time, especially when we corner him. And so we cornered him effectively in the first 2 maps. But the second 2 maps were much harder to do that, and it was like to chase him, we'd have to chase him 2 floors away from the objective downstairs, for example. And so that made it a lot more difficult, and he got a couple good flanks off. I think because of misplaced nomads, but I'm not entirely sure. Either that or nomad was doing something else, not her fault. And then the 5 going into it, we started off smack. I think we were up 3-1. Finished the attacking side 4-2, I think. 4-2 sounds right. No, 4-2.
Thought we won the first 3 and then lost the next 3.
No.
Yeah, that's a different game.
We had the Ying play to go
Oh,
up 4-2.
yeah.
My favorite call of the season, but outside of that, and then we had some fiascos with they had a player just keep disconnecting, and so we had a 5v4. I didn't really want to win it on 5v4, like that just feels like a cheap way to win it. And then we went to the overtime of the map 5, and then we won round 1 on defense upstairs, and then we actually on a C4 play from below. That's what it was. It was 2v1 C4 throw from below, blow him up as he was near default. And then round 2 we called a aggressive rush play that almost worked out, except dumbass over here couldn't shoot through some bars and kept hitting them and missed the guy's head who's defusing. And then round 5, or the final round, I remember we were in like a 5v4, 4v4. Landon got a kill on the guy going through bakery. Max got killed the guy dropping the hatch. And then I knifed their captain in the ankle to kill him because Siege loves apparently knives in the ankle kill you. And yeah.
What was winning the finals like for you? How did you feel?
Hype and amazed and hype. Very hype. It was really fun. The screaming every single round was definitely the best.
It was exciting and fun, but the biggest thing for me was that the team all came together and had this great moment as a group, because the group of guys are all great guys, and so it was fun just to win with them. I think if it was with a different team, it wouldn't be as enjoyable. What was winning the finals like, knowing it was ruined by Peyton yelling upstairs?
So, a part of us kind of expected that we would win, so I knew that was going to happen. But hearing the screaming gave me a huge sense of relief of we won, I don't have to worry about this, now we can go celebrate with the whole team. And that was an experience I don't think I'll ever forget.
Like last semester's
How did you feel about the team winning the finals?
I was excited for them. Like, good job. Like, I didn't really.
Exhilarating. It was crazy. I've never been on a team that's like won a championship before. I played hockey, I played soccer, I played baseball. Got some teams that got really close but never won a championship. So it was really great to have been on a team where we were able to go all the way.
I remember screaming for a good while, like for a long while, like being so happy you don't know what to do with yourself. And then the best part of that moment was we all play separately because our school doesn't pay for an esports arena. So we all decided to meet up at Sexton up there, and we all got together, and there's nothing like it to see your teammates, and we were all just so happy.
So now going into the second semester, Bradley was returning from the starting lineup and Danny was taking his spot. What were your original thoughts on this?
I was kind of scared, to be honest, because Bradley was really a really good support, and then we didn't really know how Danny was going to perform, and based on what I knew of him, he was silver and didn't really know the game. but he really came through, so it was a good thing, I guess.
I'm gonna have to play support. It was sad to lose Bradley, especially as a senior, a good friend of the group. He let the entire team down, graduating to simp for a girlfriend. That's the real reason he actually left the Siege team. But we kind of had a chink in our armor now, and we kind of had to replace it and fill it with some silly putty. And thankfully, that silly putty dried by playoffs. Going into the second semester, Bradley was retiring. Hold on, I'm gonna fix the script. Quit from the starting lineup, and Danny was taking his spot. What were your thoughts about this, and why didn't you take that spot?
So, seeing Bradley retire, I was a little bit bummed because I knew he was always really good at his role. And then I was very worried at Danny at the time just because he did not have enough experience with the team as a whole, I felt like. So I was a little bit worried to see how the team would adapt to that.
I was a little hesitant at first, I'm not going to lie. I mean, he had some good plays for us when we needed him, subbing in for some players who still had commitments during game time. And I mean, he's a good player. A little technically low at the time, but I mean, he put into time over break and he got a lot better. Don't you shake my head. You know I'm right.
I didn't put in any time. I was in a whole while over break.
Well, no, like when we got back, he put in like
Oh, yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah,
as soon as we got back.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
It couldn't have gotten worse, so I mean, it's
I mean, fair.
Yeah,
true,
that's
true.
And it was going to take the team a little bit of time to adjust to having Danny versus me in that support player role, and Danny to actually transition over to a support player instead of trying to be a fragger. And it was a little interesting to watch because I got to watch as a retiree, but still on roster as the last resort of the last resorts to play, which was okay in my opinion. If my number would have been called, I would have played. Not telling. I told Peyton that after he told me that.
After the fucking season.
After the season, which probably was the best thing I could have done because my class load and just where I was at with everything was a little much. And I mean, I supported the team as much as I could. I wish I could have been there, help them a little bit more with like the team wise, because there was a couple times I heard that they were in a rough spot, but you know they worked through it. They battled back. And somehow pulled another championship. They don't need me. They moved up to another higher division. They didn't need me. I did my job when I was needed. But I knew Danny was going to come through. If not, we were going to find someone else on campus. So there were options, but we chose Danny because we liked him.
You would have forced Connor to play. Look at him. He can't handle stress.
No, he was cuter.
He can't order ketchup at a restaurant.
I don't know where that's coming from, but I like it. I mean, it's anytime you add a new player into the roster, into a position, like especially a starting role, they're gonna be a little timid. They're gonna be a little bit more on the edge, and it's just the way that the play is gonna have to change. I mean, since I began playing Siege, the play style that I've had has changed so many times that I just kind of once I found the role that Peyton went, hey, you're doing this now, and this is the only thing you're doing. It just kind of stuck, and it just made my life easier. And it actually felt like I could actually help the team. So
I was excited to get some more experience. I like the game. I like playing with a team. Feels really good when you win. Yeah, I was excited, definitely.
More on Danny's ability to replace Bradley.
So I never really had the chance to play with Danny. I've watched his gameplay a lot. And he still has a lot to improve on. And after like a lot of like solo sessions with Peyton, practicing, learning callouts, all that stuff, he did improve a lot better. But at the very start of the semester, it was pretty iffy. We'll say that at best.
Initially, I knew we were losing a really strong player. He plays, he can play fragger, he played utility, he played on-site. He did some light roaming. He could do all of it, and he was an absolute monster with the Vector, which was great for when we played Mira or Goyo. He was really strong with that, and he felt during that first season, all of us were kind of at the top of our game. I was at the top of my Cali play. Landon was at the top of his Zof play, so all of us felt like we were really doing our best. And Bradley was so great for when we got down into those rounds when it was like a 1v1, 1v2, he managed to pull those out, and it really felt like he made us really unstoppable.
I would love to play in Division One because Division One was the harder division. Like, we wanted. I mean, we made the video for Landon that called Purdue Gold out by name, and we wanted to play them. Being realistic though, we didn't have a chance against them. If I say give another season or two, like if they stayed static and we had another season or two to develop as a team, we could maybe challenge them. But the roster we had no chance. They just had 5 really good players with weaknesses. So D2 was a lot better for the team in terms of just overall skill level and like how we fit. We were much more of a D2 team. I think we were probably a season. Danny was still. I suppose that's the next question. We weren't quite there yet to be a D1 team, in my opinion.
So after placements, you were placed in Division 1, and then when you played Purdue Gold, the NECC dropped you down to Division 2. How did you feel about all of that?
It didn't really matter to me. I mean, we didn't pay the entry fee, so we couldn't go to nationals, so there wasn't really a point in us being in D1 in my eyes, because if you pay it and you're in D1, then it's like, okay, you're actually there to stay. Don't pay it and you're in D1, you're just there to be there. So dropping down to D2, it was more for fun, and we showed up, so.
I think it was a good decision because it was such an overreaction by NECC. We had just won a very close game in D4, and they went, fuck it, just throw them all the way up there. And it's quite an overreaction for a program and a team, as well as a coach, to try to adjust to such a big differential change. Usually when you take a team, we have kind of a ladder to climb. Instead, they just shot us right to the top, so it was good to put us on a lower bracket so we could actually get accustomed to a higher tier play and the different play style of those teams.
So, I honestly didn't really mind it either way. I knew we could do well and probably win Division 1. We put in a lot of practice and time as a team. But Division 2 is really nice to see because there's some hard matches and some really nice matches overall.
To be honest, I didn't care. I was retired. For the team, I was like, that's a little bit of a hit because I know they wanted to try D1 and get that really the much higher level of play. But I think having them move down was probably the best play for them. It just, because I mean, it was still a very competitive league and it forced them to, it wasn't as much as a skill gap, I feel like, between teams compared to when we were in the Emergence League. Because there were some definite teams where there was a much larger skill gap between us. And points where we just kind of went, hey, this is our time, we can try some new things. And we just bullied them into submission.
I felt we could have stayed in Division 1. We definitely could have played because during our placements we definitely beat a couple of those teams up there. But I don't think we would have ever beat Purdue Gold. So I think us being in D2 allowed us to get another championship.
I was fine with it. Playing at D1, as much as it would have been cool, we wouldn't have been very successful. And in terms of, wanting to build on our success from the previous season, the best way to do that would have been at D2. I didn't think we were ready for D1 when we got placed there, so I wasn't particularly broken up about being moved down. And with how the season turned out, I think it was probably the best decision for us. The team that moved up went on to do really well in that division, and and us moving down, we managed to get the championship, so it was really good for both of us.
So Bradley, the one thing about Bradley is he will plant and get the job done exactly how he needs to. He was very good at. I gave him a simple job. He droned Landon and Max in very, very well. His droning was superb. He got the wall open, and so his set of skills, he wasn't the most mechanically gifted player, but his set of skills was very invaluable to the team. And Danny trying to replace it, we knew it was going to be an uphill battle because Danny doesn't have the same instincts that Bradley does. He was still developing his at the time. We also had Garrett as another potential fill-in, so we were debating back and forth on whether we go with Garrett, whether we go with Danny. Garrett couldn't play. It also didn't help that Garrett didn't really have his own computer, so we went with Danny, and Danny put, to his credit, a lot of work in and got a lot better as the season went on. Quite proud of actually of how far he came from the start of the season. If you can think of, if you remember back to that, to where he is now. Like technically the whole season came down to Danny shooting someone. Now yes, as a refrag, but
So the first hard match of the season came when you suffered the setback against Purdue Black. How did the team respond?
How did we respond?
You're asking me?
I don't know. No, I remember losing and being like, well, that'll be fun in the finals. That was about it. I don't know. I guess I do remember Peyton saying, all right, we're gonna up the practices in a week, and then we ended up not upping practices and just practicing the same amount.
I mean, after Purdue, we were still becoming accustomed to having Danny on the team, and everyone was still trying to get back into the flow of into the season. And so it was more just, it's only week 4, let's see what happens when playoffs comes around.
So watching the streams from the second season, how did it feel to watch the team slowly improve more and more?
It was good to see them improve. There's definitely some times where I just kind of stopped myself watching the stream and going, what strat is this and where did Peyton find this? There was a couple, either that or they're just completely freeloading half the maps that I watched. And there's some definite times where players were in positions that they should have been, but they played it completely wrong. And I just go and scream at my TV. One of my roommates actually came in, are you okay? And I went, no, they're losing and they just lost the 4v1.
I was not alive during that.
Yeah, you died immediately.
Yes, I was not alive during that once. It was not my fault.
So it was interesting, but it was fun to watch. It was fun to just kind of be in the chat with some other people, and I had the opportunity to do some casting for a match with them, and I wish I would have had time to do more, but it was a lot of fun to be able to do that, and hopefully maybe later on I can do more.
So after the
There's a lot of we started dry running things again. We started actually practicing and doing scrims. Because up until then we kind of pushed things off. We started working again towards winning properly.
How did you feel the team progressed throughout the second semester?
Second semester really still felt like the same semester. So I know first semester we did a lot of training, a lot more getting all these details in for maps that we want to do. I wasn't there for a lot of the second season for the practices, but it seemed like there weren't a lot of new strategies implemented. It was kind of just go with the same thing and hope it worked. So I would have liked to see us use more strategies, but at the same time, if it works, don't fix it. So
the team responded really well to that one. It was such a close game, such a near run thing, and a lot of us just had some small mistakes if we just corrected. So that game was heartbreaking to lose because we were just almost there. But when you're that close and that it's just small mistakes, that was the difference between you winning and losing that one. It's a lot better than just being swept or absolutely shut down and losing a game like our map 3 7-2 or whatever. We weren't shut down. It was just a really close game that didn't go our way.
The biggest thing it caused, or the biggest thing it showed us, is that we could have beaten them. We honestly could have. It was a lot of misplays by us. I know personally I didn't play that well, if I remember correctly. The biggest thing it was is we tried to shift to a lighter schedule in the second semester to be more nice on everyone's time, but it ended up costing us because a lot of miscommunications were happening, a lot of just basically things that shouldn't have been happening were happening. So we revamped up the practice schedule. Lyndon says we didn't. We did. And I remember it clearly because we went from one practice maybe a week to back to 2 or 3, which was a big increase. Maybe not Landon and Max as much, but definitely I was working with Danny a lot more and Roger a lot more and getting little kinks sorted out. Those two both put in a shit ton of work, so that's how the team responded. We just started working harder, put our nose to the grindstone.
Would you consider your team captain a tyrant, or Is there any other word you want to use to describe him?
Dictator. Just you do this when I tell you to do it. If you don't do it, then it's your fault that we messed up.
Has he ever threatened violence?
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
He has boxing gloves for a reason. So
Who would you go to if you were to try to calm Peyton down? Or how would you try to go about calming Peyton down when he gets into his violent streaks?
Peyton doesn't get into violent streaks. He doesn't get violent, but I know he would want to punch things. Peyton likes to go on walks when he's upset.
Do you ever try to calm him down by letting him punch you?
No, he'll just walk away.
He'll just walk away.
Yeah. If Peyton loses a game and he really wanted to win, there's no stopping him. He'll go on walks. Doesn't matter the weather.
Have you ever felt like punching him?
Peyton, no. You, yes.
Yes.
Alright, that's it for questions.
The questions.
So, the game against St. Clair. Where was your mindset during map 3 after having to drop map 2?
Sinclair, map 3. Map 2, I gotta remember, hold up. Okay, map
Yeah.
1 was fun, easy. Map 2 was what map?
Club.
Club. Oh, yeah, so map 2, it was like, it was going really well, and then I decided to go knock, and didn't realize I had a paper bag on my head, and that really threw the mental of the team off, and going into the third map, it was a matter of, will people be able to clear their mental from that one mistake? Because personally, my mental was fully clear because it was a simple mistake, and we slammed them that round. So going into the next round, it was like just do the same thing on defense. Like we're still better than them. It's just a matter of clearing the mental and resetting, basically. And it was, could the team do that?
Answer is we couldn't.
We kind of did though.
We got 0-3 on defense.
Oh, no, second map we did. Second map we did not. Second map no one did. The third map though we did clear mental, which was huge going into it.
I was still confident. I knew we liked that map, and the only reason that we had lost Clubhouse is because a player had an illegal skin. And this entire time, the St. Clair actually had a coach in their comms, watching from their main player's perspective, which is highly illegal. And they were actually also using illegal skins, so they were cheating through map 1 and 2. And so finally bitched enough at Peyton for him to get the enemy coach out of the comms, and as soon as that happened, their team fell apart, and we predicted that.
The game against St. Clair, all of the members were having PTSD about Southern Miss. What did you do as the emotional support captain or coach to help them?
I was dying a quarter of stress.
Oh no.
So did you watch the St. Clair game?
Was that the last one?
Yes.
No.
Cool. So,
I heard about it. I heard about it in great detail afterwards, though. I can't remember what I was doing. All I remember was watching my Discord notifications just go off and off and off of everybody going, "Holy shit! What just happened? Good job!" And I'm sitting here going, "Yeah, they won. Okay, good job, guys." I think I saw one of them. It was just like, "Could you guys have done it any closer? My heart is beating." And I went, "You should have been
Ours too, bud.
Yeah, it's like ours too. Round, you should. I mean, it was kind of the same situation that we were in first season, game 7, literal final round overtime, and I mean everybody's heart was beating, and I mean I can't imagine the excitement wasn't as the same as like we just won, and there was a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, a lot of pounding on desks. Yeah, it was. And then hearing about it, and I kind of went back and watched a lot of it actually, and it was a good match. A little interesting to see some players fall off a little bit, but they battled back eventually. It was good to see. I'm just looking at you because you're over there. But yeah, it was good to see that. It was good. I'm happy for the team, and I mean, name's technically still on roster, so technically I won it. I helped win it, just not in the sense that I know Peyton would have.
God has condemned his
Yeah, so much my own laughter. That's all I'm ever know.
It was really stressful, especially when we got into those OT time on the third map. You know, we kept going. Brought it back though, won.
The game against St. Clair, what was your mindset like on map 3 after dropping map 2?
I was fairly all right. You know, when you got to keep up momentum, you got to keep up morale. And morale was pretty down after that map, but I was pretty confident we'd be able to take Villa, mainly because Villa's our map. It's a strong map, and Clubhouse is not one of our stronger maps. We practice it a lot, but a lot of teams really focus on it, really play it a lot. So it's just not a map we focus on as much as a lot of other teams.
The game against St. Clair, the team had a very good map 1 and won surprisingly 7-2. Going into map 2, the map was dropped after a misplay by one of your players having the wrong skin on. Going into map 3, what were your thoughts?
Fuck you, Landon. If I'm being honest, throughout map 3, there were times where I feel like a couple players would agree with me that I felt like we were going to lose. Like there were times where it almost felt inevitable. We've been here before. Map 3 wasn't going well. Give the team credit. We were down 5-6. They made the stupidest call I've ever seen in a Rainbow Six Siege game. I think I even said easy round, I think in the comms or something like that. Yeah, I did. Okay.
When I went on the only bad site.
The only bad site on the map to throw us off, and I was like, huh. And then I didn't even play it correctly. Yeah, JMBs, if you see this, that was a stupid decision. I know it was your decision too.
But if we didn't reschedule, they probably would have won, right?
Yeah, and then we went to overtime. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times just because it's still a really fun game to watch. Basically, we went to an attack. I remember having the caster. I remember telling Max we're switching to Yang Glaz, and the casters in the thing were like, he's not locking in Glaz, right? Like, oh my god. And then Max domed one kid with Glaz. We got a couple other picks, flooded site, and took the first OT round. And then the second OT round, I don't remember. We made a mistake. We basically just lost a couple ones, and just the whole thing fell apart. And so we were going to overtime. They picked Kitchen because they knew we were bad at it. Or we had struggled on it earlier. I think we just had lost someone stupidly earlier. I think we lost Landon on like a late flank.
We struggled with our Burt take. Landon got nitro celled from below.
Yeah. So we went for a lateral take. They had no one contesting us lateral, so Max was able to get set up in mudroom. Landon got into memo very early. And then Max got the first opening pick, took out their best player, Rapid. I went for a flank, came from behind, killed one guy, got traded out. Landon killed the one guy holding site. Danny went in, got the plant down. It's a 3v2, Roger versus Danny.
Roger versus Danny.
Yeah. Roger, Danny, and Landon. They try to swing through memo. They pick Roger. Landon takes a 1v1 in kitchen. If he loses that, we lose the season. Landon wins it. And then they go for the refrag. No, the last guy swings in through memo, kills Landon at the right perfect moment. Danny peeks out, headshots, and then we won.
So how does it feel to be 2-time national champions?
National? Whoa! I mean, fair. I mean, it's really good. It's gonna be hard to follow up this next few years, but we'll do our best.
You always destroy the question I have written next.
Well, stop bringing up common questions next.
You know, it's expected. When I wake up in the morning, I piss greatness, and so does Landon, my co-star on the team. Everyone else there is just to support us and watch us roll through the entire state. So, I mean, it's fun. I didn't have as much success with League because that team is interesting, and sadly we never got to do it with Overwatch due to, well, there were cheaters and other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But sadly, the Overwatch team was really good, but we never got to cross the finish line, and so to cross with this team, it was very fun and fulfilling for me.
It feels really nice to see not only how far the whole team has come, but the amount of practice and time you put in to achieve really great things as both individuals and as the Rainbow Six Siege team. And it was nice to be able to every now and then help the players if need be, or just coming in for practices to either lend a hand or just play some extra scrims if need be.
For me to play. But yeah.
Speaking of which, how does it feel not to be a one-time but a two-time national grand champion?
1.5.
It's 1.5 more than LBC. You're right. Sorry, Southern Miss.
No, CUW.
And CUW. Hey, we love our sister school of CUW in the esports.
No, don't fuck your grand.
Wow,
He's
okay.
been real moody lately.
What do you think that is?
Putting that in the bloopers when he sees it. He's a real moody.
Yeah, ask me that question again, Connor.
Tell me I'm wrong.
How does it feel to be a two-time national champion?
You know, it feels pretty great. Some would say that I only deserve 1.5. But you know, half is better than none. And I mean, still won it. Get another trophy, and it'll be something that we'll probably be talking about for a really long time. And some people still won't shut up about it whenever I see them. It's the only thing we talk about, I guess. That's okay though. We love them for it.
It's good. I contributed to one of those a fair bit. It feels pretty good.
Feels great, especially so right now for the second season. It feels like, you know, I'm on the NFL team that won the Super Bowl, and I'm just a bench player. Didn't play a single game in the season and still get to walk away with a ring. You know, it feels like that right now. So it's just great. Got a paycheck for doing nothing. That's essentially what it feels like.
It feels good. It was somewhat of a crazy ending to our second season, but ending that first season was just an amazing feeling. It felt really good. It felt like we'd achieved quite a bit in such a short time to win our first season, and then second season pulling it out, it felt like we'd come a long way as well.
How does it feel to be two-time, back-to-back international gaming champions?
You had a bunch of extra words there. I'm not gonna lie, bittersweet. We didn't get to play Purdue. That was the biggest thing. Like this championship, well, yeah, we put a lot more work in. The caliber teams are a lot better. It doesn't feel the same. I feel like most of my teammates will say that, is we didn't get that final showdown, and we really wanted it, and we were ready for it. But at the end of the day, shit happens, and we just happen to be in the right side of a forfeit, and we have now 2 titles, one more than CUW. We've only been competing for 2 semesters.
CUW.
One, they have one actually. I double checked it.
Siege?
No, they have like a Rocket League one.
Oh, who
from,
cares? It's
3
Rocket
years. So they have 1.
My drive cause good.
We have 2. It's funny because we get to say we're now the most decorated team in school history. That is a fact.
And we're D1, so.
And we're D1, so that's pretty cool. Some people might say we're over exaggerating a little bit, but I find it funny, and it's cool to say.
Do you think the team will be able to continue it next year, and what is your approach for helping the team improve?
Well, first approach is going to be getting 2 more players, because we're going to need 2 more. And we don't have those lined up, but we do have ideas of 2 people. And will we be able to? I think so, because NEC still is going to have the placements. So based on that, we got placed in D1 because of our ranks. So based on our ranks, we'll be lower. We'll probably get placed in a lower division, and then I think we can claw our way back up.
So as it is right now, you will not be partaking into Rainbow Six Siege due to graduation for next semester. So how do you think the team will be able to continue next year?
Duct tape and God's will, maybe it might continue. We have some young players on the team, so there's a lot of potential. They'll just have to find a way to fill some of the veteran leadership, and you know, maybe the team spends a season in a slump or, you know, down in division, but I'm sure within 2 years that Landon and Danny will have another great team willing to compete for titles.
Do you think the team can survive next year without you there?
I like to think they can, just because they have some really good players, and some of the prospects that they've been looking for the team next year. I feel like they can be really helpful and beneficial to improve the team to a really strong state.
Watching the team improve over this semester, how do you think they're going to fare next year with so many changes to the team?
Well, with losing, 5 seniors? 5 seniors and retaining 3 of the main roster, hopefully we'll get a couple more to come back that kind of will know the system at least a little bit. That way Landon doesn't have too much of a struggle going on. It'll be definitely interesting to see. It might take them a bit to kind of find their where they're gonna be, because we don't know where the NEC is gonna place them. Granted, they still have to go through the placement matches, and I mean, it's all gonna come down to if we get any incoming freshmen that are high level and can play, and just how placements go. Who knows? They could be back up in D2. They could be all the way down in technical D5. Hopefully, they'll be D5 they're quitting, I guess. But
Let's just go to that, all the
just
teams where it gets
just be good enough to play LVC, and then I'll come back for a year. I'll use my graduate year.
Perfect, thank you.
Technically, that's what I
With
could
the
do.
next team, with the team next year, you're going to be losing quite a few players. How do you think the team will not only continue but fare for the next season?
I think under some newer, I think next year's going to be interesting. I think players we're keeping are pretty good. I have some concerns, but it'll work itself out. I'm pretty certain.
So it's like a team of 6 or 7 right now, with Connor and I as subs. However, we're losing 5 players. Bradley's like a pseudo sub. So we go down to 3 players. I think Landon, Roger, and Danny will be able to play however much they want. But the struggle is finding 2 more people that will play every Wednesday if they do NECC or whatever day it's scheduled. And then if someone doesn't make it, having a sub or 2, and that's going to be the hard part because you only pick up 4 players.
How do you think the team will do next year?
Oh boy, we're losing so many people. It just feels like we're gonna have some struggles to get over with, finding new people, getting the team dynamic back together. But I think Landon will do a good job. He's become a lot better in terms of how he leads, how he helps other people, and he's becoming more and more the captain. And he's gonna have plenty of time. He's a freshman, so he's gonna have 3 years to get that down and to be able to figure that out. And I don't think it'll take him that long. I think he'll figure it out really quickly how to be the best captain, especially among a group of people who may not have played on a team before. But I think he's going to do really well.
Do you think the team next year can continue the legacy that has been set by the seniors? And when the seniors face the new team next year, who will win that match? Best of 5.
Best of 5. Ooh, it'll be dependent on who they get. I think right now, let's say they get 2 players equivalent to Danny, seniors are going to win. We have Garrett, Bradley, Connor, Max, and myself. Max and
Alex.
On a technicality, Alex. So Garrett can't play, so we'll probably sub Alex in instead.
Very even swap.
Very even. It depends on who they get. If they get 2 more Landons, then we're having an issue. I'm guessing they're gonna get. There's one player they're talking to who's a low platish support player. If they can get, it's a her actually, so it's a.
Well, we don't know. We gotta say D-Day. Don't kick us out of school.
That'll be interesting to see. And then I feel like the seniors are gonna win. I feel like we're gonna kill Roger 1 or 2 times. I'm gonna tilt him.
Then here in the bottom of Connor's notes it says, "Who is the cutest player in the team and why is it Connor?"
So you see with Connor. Let's go through the reasons. Submissive,
Breedable, quaint, can cook, loves cleaning. Is it D-Day? Is by himself?